What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. Welcome to this edition of Black Friday. I'm your host, Slash, and with me I got Comedian 96, K Money, and Freddie G. Together, we the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe, plus follow us on Twitter, 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, welcome back to Black Friday, y'all. I want to talk about something that not just here in where we are, but the whole, United States economically has been having some issues due to a lot of different things. One of the main things being poverty, and that's just something that there's a big percentage of that we would like to change. But there have been some efforts to try and change this right here in Houston, Harris County. There is a program, however, that has started called Uplift Harris. And if you don't know about it right here in Houston, I just kind of want to give you some information on that. Now, what this program is they're saying certain residents in certain zip codes that are 200% below the poverty line for the, federally, they've already established I think it's a $20 million thing that they're going to give away to certain people for like $500 a month for 18 months. So some of these zip codes, and I can give you, I know one for a fact, which is the 77060, is our own Greens Point area right here in Houston, right. Harris County. There's another one, 77081, which I think is the southwest side of Houston, Texas. Well, anyway, they're going to give away this money as, I guess this is a way to see, how well they can change a community, or for whatever reason they're doing it. But they're only choosing certain zip codes right here in Houston, Texas. And if you don't know about it, this application, this thing, well, you have to apply for this, and that started the top of this week and ending on January 26, 2024. So if you know anybody that needs information on it, or if you yourself would like to apply, there are some things that you might want to know about that. What do you need to apply and how to be eligible? You must have a household income at or below 200% of the federal poverty line. You must be 18 years or older.
That 200%, living 200% below the federal poverty line, that's like approximately $60,000 for a household of four. So just imagine, man.
How many households are like that? It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah. More than that in the household with less, less than 60.
Yeah.
That just kind of gives you an idea.
It's quite a few homes, houses like this.
Yeah. Looking at those zip codes, I lived in about 5 of these zip codes. These look mostly Hispanic and African American communities.
Right, they are. And not to say that these particular neighborhoods don't need that type of assistance, but some of these people in these particular neighborhoods are already on assistance. So most of these areas are poverty, so a lot of these people are on housing.
Exactly.
So I guess what they're saying is, because you're on housing, okay, we're going to help you out
some more.
But what is your purpose of doing that? Because what I know is that there are families in homes that actually are not 200% below that poverty line that still need that same type of money in their household, but you're only going to give it to a certain type of people.
So what I'm thinking,
what are you looking for from that, basically?
Now that you say it like that, what I'm thinking is probably going to be a replacement, because I know you probably heard that they're going to stop Social Security and things like that, right? So it could be that they know down the pipeline that this is going to happen. Yeah. I mean, this is allegedly. This is just throwing it out there.
Right.
I mean, but that would affect more people if
I'm pretty
in
sure
that scenario,
every city and county probably have a program that they're going to roll out. They're going to have to roll out because you know how many people, if you stop Social Security, you know how many homeless elderly would be?
But think about the ones that's not even getting Social Security that's already eligible. It's already a large number. I think is what Slash is getting at.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a large number, and again, you got households of people that are maybe not 200. But what if I'm 150% rather than the 200%? But I still need that income to help every now and then because if you're not just making maybe 100,000 a year, you really not just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody can use that help. But what I'm trying to get at in this situation is I think they're giving it to the people in areas that are not gonna, I guess, now and this depends on the individual also, but most of these areas where they're going, a lot of these people that's probably gonna get this money are not gonna be responsible enough to say, okay, I can take and save some of this money.
Yep.
And do better off and get myself away from this assistance that these people are handing out. And especially it would be easy to do if, let's just say, for instance, there's 3 people living in an apartment or 3 people living in a house, and they all are accepted for this program, in these zip codes. They can actually make a change within 18 months of each of them getting an extra $500 a month.
Yep.
For 18 months. If they were smart, they can take, save X amount out of that, however much they thought of, and I mean, at the end of the 18-month period, they'd actually be able to probably get out of this place where they live in.
Yep.
But I want to say they're not giving the money to the people who would think like that, judging by these area codes, because some of these area codes we know is a big crime rate.
Zip code.
Zip codes. There's a big crime rate, drug rate. People on drugs, and majority of these people can be 18 and older, meaning you probably don't even have a job.
So let me ask you, and you may have kind of said this and I missed it. I'm not sure, but is this something that Harris County that they're just giving without applying, or you actually have to go and apply?
You have to apply for it, and they're going to communicate to you whether or not you were accepted. Yeah, if you qualify.
Now, I think I heard you discuss the list of qualifications to qualify. Was being employed, was that included on the list?
No, they didn't say nothing about you had to be employed.
Okay, so you're underneath a certain percentage under the poverty level.
Right.
200%.
200%.
So do we know where those funds are coming from? Is it like meaning is the government supplying the state? And
good question.
That's a good question.
That's a really good question. As I look through these notes, I ran across something kind of similar to that, but I don't want to go into that until I actually find the actual information where I got it from.
And the reason why I'm saying is because if the government is supplying the state, then of course that's taxpayers' dollars.
Freddie G, if the government supplies the state, then why do you have to be the voice of reason every time? Come on, we get it. No, I'm just messing with you. But here's my question. I'm looking at these zip codes, right? And I'm noticing, like you said, it's just black and Hispanic. We all grew up in the 77004 zip code, area code, zip code. I'm saying it right. Now I'm getting it wrong. Zip code. Now, for you listeners, that was Houston's third ward area, and it was always been black and kind of bad. Not kind of bad. It was bad. Let me quit saying kind of. We went to Yates. Yates was called the Yard. Jack Yates Senior High. So that should tell you already. However, they're not on this list, 77004. when we were there, I can almost guarantee it would be there. We're now gentrifying. It's becoming they're building and coming a better. I don't understand why, because we still have black people or not just black, Hispanics, just all different races, and it's still a poor area. They're building. Why wasn't the 004 thrown on there? And that makes me wonder, because they got the very next one, the South Park one, was it 770? Was it?
It was several of them on there.
Yeah. So the South Park is like right next over. Once you cross over Scott, it's the very next zip code. Once you cross over Scott. So how you got that on there when you cross over Scott?
That's generally the same area.
Yeah. And then when you come back over Scott to 004, it's not there.
They may be looking at the property taxes and the housing in those areas, because if you think about it, right on the opposite side of South Park and Third Ward, you got big homes.
Big homes,
North McGregor, them people got some really nice homes over there. So they nowhere near 200% of the federal poverty line.
But they in the hood.
But
they in the 004.
But it's the key to this was the 200% of federal poverty line. These people 200% under or whatever.
Can you agree or disagree? Is there more poor in the 004 or more rich?
I mean,
it's more poor in the 004. Way more. For you start from McGowan from the freeway and come on back all the way down to.
So if they're giving it to people that's 200% below the poverty line, and K Money mentioned what the poverty line was. What you said, household of 4, 6,
making 60,000 with the household of 4.
So that means that if they put that number out there, 200% below the poverty line, that means that they know the numbers. So we're looking, when Comedian 96, when you're saying looking at a certain specific area as being poor, what they're looking at, okay, these people are working over here, and these people are making X amount of dollars over here.
Right. Got you. Okay. Now that makes a difference.
And so if you're making X amount of dollars, you're still associating Third Ward
poverty.
Poor.
Yeah.
So you're still associated from back then, but now maybe people are making more money living over there.
But
now.
you hit a big point. You said people are working, but still under the poverty. That key word was working. But under the poverty line, so they could be making $35,000 a year, but they still ain't making it.
So you agree with my point?
I agree with you, because I'm thinking about an area.
FYI, that's why I'm the voice of reason.
Whatever. All I'm saying is, I ain't saying nothing.
So anyway, back to where the money's coming from. It is coming from the actual American Rescue Plan Act. Which is ARPA, and there was much more money, and this is actually funding for state and local government. So these people are who dealing with the money with both
the state and local.
I believe it says a grant.
Yeah, it's like a grant, Okay. So that means the state or whoever else is doing it, they don't have to pay the money back.
So this is free money.
This free money.
It's a grant.
And also I want to mention too that this is just the first rip. They plan to do it longer, and I guess it just depends on.
Never mind, you asked my question.
On how well they do with that. But again, what I say about that is, okay, what is your purpose of doing this? Are you trying to prove a point? Because in 18 months, what happens to those same people that's under the poverty line? Don't they go right back to where they were?
Yep.
So what are we doing? What are we proving? I understand why, and I understand, and that's another reason why I was saying there's people that do make it, that's not 200% of it, that still need that money.
Well, what I don't understand is the number that they're allowing, that they're going to approve is only 2,000. I mean, they're going to exceed that number,
really fast.
Yeah, and like you say, after this 2,000, after we pick these 2,000 that qualify, what happens after that?
Right. That's what I'm saying. They hoping that there's another. I guess the following year they start doing the same thing, but again, I don't know, because I'll tell you one thing: 18 months is a long time. Anything can happen before then.
So you know what? I bet you it's probably a test run. Let me tell you why.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Do you remember back when, and I'm not saying every Louisiana resident did this. Mm-hmm. You remember back when they had the storm and all the Louisiana residents moved here?
Right.
And they got to live rent-free for a year. All of them. Mm-hmm. Some of them, not very many though. They took advantage and said, I'm going to go work, and this rent, I'm going to stack my check. Mm-hmm. But most of them partied. They partied because they had no rent to pay.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would love to live someone 1 year rent-free.
Well,
so and that's the thing. They're probably thinking, let me try with these 2,000 first, because I saw what happened in Houston when Louisiana moved down there rent free and they didn't have to pay no bill. Right. So that was way more than 2,000 people.
Right.
So I can see them, you know, because this is something you can't, you know, this is grant money that that everybody's going to get. And once you start it, you can't.
Yeah.
So let me start with these 2,000 first.
Now, they created this program, and supposedly they said that the program was meant to improve self-sufficiency, reduce home volatility, also reduce housing instability, reducing food insecurity. So basically saying you're not worried about if you're going to make groceries or not. Mm. You know what I mean? So it sounds good, but what happens after that?
I think it's just a temporary fix, man.
It's a
Band-Aid that don't stick good.
Now I don't know if y'all thought about this, but this was one of my things also that I thought. Remember, election is coming up. Mm-hmm. So whatever this program is about, there's going to be somebody that they're going to put the name in conjunction with this to make all of these people that they just got in these low poverty areas to vote for them.
Yeah.
Because they gave them some money. See, I know the people have other thoughts on their mind and how they try to do stuff. You just have to be the one to say, you know what game are you really playing with us?
Well, yeah.
Because if you cared enough, you would say, okay, this program is going to last this long. We're going to make sure everything's straight for you, and we're going to help you get into better, life situations.
Right.
That's not what they're saying. Mm-hmm. We're going to just give you a little something, and then after 18 months, we're going to decide if we do it again.
Now, see, this kind of puts our new mayor on the spot, if you ask me.
Right.
Because they're saying the program is for 18 months.
Right.
In 18 months, I'm sure he'll be up for election again.
And
so if you discontinue this program or continue it, it's going to make him look good if he's able to continue it or even increase it.
Or if he's able to even get votes out of it because he did something like this. Either way it go, I think for them it's a win-win situation, but I really believe that this is a setup for something else. Not saying that it's not a good program, but why? Why now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been like this for a long time.
Like I said,
in America,
it's a temporary fix, bro.
So it's really crazy. We got to kind of sometimes try to figure out why we go through some of the stuff we go through. But I think my main concern is still just because a family is not 200% under the poverty line, it still doesn't mean that they don't need reduced food insecurity. If you want to do that, you could do that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not just by giving people some money. You could give if you are able to give the government and the state money to do something like this just once upon a time, then you're probably able to reduce what you're giving then over a period of time and just reduce taxes everywhere. You know what I mean? You got that kind of money to control the government. With a grant, that's got to be pretty powerful.
Yeah, but the only scary part about it is that temporary 18 months. It seems like it's a test, and you get people for 18 months. You getting, I don't care if it's $100 extra. You get people used to getting that $100 extra for 18 months, and then it stop for a poor person. That's a lot. Someone that's under the poverty line. It's like either you gonna do it or you ain't. And you're right. Right before election, it is suspect.
Yeah, that's why I say it's something else. It's something else than just we want to help people in these areas. You know what I mean? It's definitely. I definitely feel like it's something else. Not really sure what it could be, but it's definitely something. And I don't believe that it's everybody benefit from this later on or nothing like that. So if you know anybody that need that type of assistance, you can go online and find that information. Just look up Uplift Harris, and it should tell you more information of this. All right, so now it's time to move on to our black facts that you can't take back. My black fact this week that you can't take back, I want to talk about Noah Harris, the first black man Harvard student body elected as council president. So, young man at 22 years old, in all of the 380 something years of Harvard being around, he's the first black man to have been accepted for this position at such a prestigious college. I think that is really wonderful for a black man to be that age, and I think we should try to use stuff like this to encourage our other youth to put themselves in a position like this, especially the black youth. And I think the world would be a much better place if we could get it like that. But I just want to shout out to him because, you know, that's a great achievement for a person at such a young age, especially knowing what the youth community is like right now. So I just want to say shout out to Noah Harris. Keep doing your thing, man. We out. So that's going to do it for this episode of Black Friday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast, on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast. Check us out on Monday for Music Mondays. See y'all then.